wellness such a big topic in a world that is obsessed with weight? Any other thoughts? Anybody wants to add?
We have kept the goal of this MI 1000 crore and a lot of things going towards it. In the journey towards that, let's not forget other aspects of life, and then by the time you have it, then you would have lost all other aspects of life.
Yeah.
That should not happen. It should be balanced.
Okay. So if you really look at this, I mean, this is a very rough graph. It's got physical, it's got mental, it's got nutrition, which is about food. I think Anu spoke about gut health, which is about food. And mental comes twice. Why does mental come twice? Your state of mind affects your state of body, or the other way around as well. Okay, so I'm coming back to, again, what we spoke in the morning about mindset, right? Morning session was about mindset at work. This is about mindset for yourself. It's about mindset about yourself, right? Again, if you want something you never had, you have to do something you never done. What has been your experience, Kishore?
Calms the brain, sir.
Calms the brain.
It's a clear vision.
What made you start?
No, I'm not doing, sir.
But what made you start?
In our school times, it was mandatory. Then after in
That's a good one.
then during engineering times, I was doing something.
Sometimes. Ram?
Many times, sir. I'm able to
Talk to Salma. She tell you. if she was able to start meditation, anybody can. Right? She's got the most hyperactive mind, right? Overthinking mind, right? She also told me the same thing. I can't sit quiet for 10 minutes. Right? Umesh, what made you start?
So, every day, 2 minutes. When you go to walk,
Where's the mic? Give it to.
You get the mind relaxed.
Mind relaxed. Yeah. How many of you would like to start? How many of you know the benefits of meditation? How many of you know the benefit? Maybe in the MIFC group, you guys are not active, no? Many of you are not active. I think I shared one link with John. I can share it again in the MIFC group. There's one link which talks about 76 benefits of meditation. How it helps you with your blood pressure, how it helps you with your, different aspects, physical and emotional and mental. Right? And it's not a very difficult thing to do. I'm sure the way John is doing it is different from the way Salma is doing it, is different from the way I'm doing it, different from the way Kishore is doing it. You'll have to figure out what works for you. Right? But I can tell you one thing, that starting this in college was possibly, somebody asked me what is the best investment I made in myself. And I said meditation. In one of the podcasts, somebody asked me, what are the best investments you made in yourself? I said meditation. Without any hesitation, I said meditation. Because that one thing changed a lot of other things. Right? Shared my confidence level, my confidence at work, right? Taking risks, taking decisions, taking manifestations. Like I talked about manifestation, no? And I said I want to be a general manager by 35, CEO by 40. That was a manifestation. But because of meditation, there was a calmness that, it could. So actually, if you go to my YouTube, there is one playlist on mindset and other, about 7 or 8 or 10 videos in there. One of them is first video about how I started as a student. And the third one is about how it has helped me in the last 15 years after I left corporate. And there's one in between about the whole journey. The 3 videos of meditation which I have shared in my YouTube. I'd be happy to, instead of me sharing the link, if you are really interested, go to my YouTube and check.
That's a good one.
It has to be more your requirement than my requirement. Right? I will not share. Right? If you're really interested, you can just type out Cherian Kuruvila YouTube, you'll get this thing. Right? So what's your takeaway so far on this session? To the time we started till Salma made you jump around and sit down and move your hips and all that, till now, the last say half an hour, what has been the thing that is stuck in your mind the most?
Use the mic.
The most we invest on our body will give you the most beneficial return, so that we can be more active in our 80s or 60, whatever that age. Even I say personally, so I have hypothyroid. So previously I don't have the knee pain is there, so I couldn't walk. While sleeping in the night it will be okay, but when I'm getting up in the early morning, then I cannot walk that much fastly. So I have to go for some more steps, then it will be okay after 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Now I started with gym, so I feel good. That advice also came from Jagan. So started that club, no, infra club. So from there he said it will add you. From there started. It's feeling good.
So please use the club, yeah. Please use the club. We are full of them. Anybody else wants to share something?
And also meditate, just not workouts. I'm telling you, thyroid or whatever, meditate. You see the difference. You know, you will actually physically see the difference.
Anybody else has done something different in the that you're doing differently in the last 1-2 months after MIFC was formed?
Sir, actually I used to go to gym, sir, long back when I used to play cricket, sir. Like due to my health issues, I have dropped going for gym. Right now, after this meditation come, I set up my own home gym. Like I'm doing 2 hours cross fitness in the morning and 2 hours weight training right now. I just wanted to go to my...
But you had some health issues.
Yes, sir.
How old are you?
I am 24. No, 26, sir.
Let me make it better. The question, I think, just share, I think, a few examples. What are you doing differently?
So one thing I wanted to say, everybody say that where you live. I live in myself, in my body. My soul is living in the body. When my body is happy, my soul is happy, then everything is happy. I can spread that happiness to the people outside. So first we have to be happy. So we should take care of our health, wealth and mental health. So I have started my journey, sir. Past 3 years I was very fit and very active. After few physical, personal things, I just dropped everything. Now I again picked up. For past 3 months I'm back to my routine, sir.
Proud of you.
You remember the picture in the morning with that strong tree which breaks when the storm comes? I spoke about the storm, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it just takes one personal storm to break you. Right?
Yeah.
Just one personal storm. Everything is going strong, something goes wrong with some relationship and everything just falls, right? Because we invest so much in that relationship breaks, everything breaks, right? We lose that motivation to do anything itself, right? Natural. So that's where the mind again starts influencing how your body is going. So I mean, for those who have not started meditation, this is not a meditation camp. There are a lot of meditation centers in Bangalore, around Bangalore. But I'll send you that one thing on the 76 benefits of it. After that you read it, you will still think that you'll be interested in starting, we'll organize something. Like, see, just like we're doing this session on wellness, right? I know I'm part of a couple of meditation groups. I can get somebody to come and talk to you guys about meditation in more detail. Right? I'm not a meditation teacher. I'm a meditation preacher. I will preach about the benefits of meditation, but I can't teach you meditation. I'm not a trained teacher, right? So I will not even try that. But if there's a lot of interest within the MIFC group saying that, yeah, we would like to have one session around meditation, like you have the POSH session. The awareness of POSH went up today, right? Similarly, I feel awareness of what meditation is, how it works, how it can work, if it thinks it helps. So, like I said, this is again the culture we are creating in MI, that we are not looking at you as just employees, right? When 1,000 crores happens, we want all of you to be there. And all of you to be nice and healthy, not nice and prosperous. Be prosperous also, but not in that way, you know. So this is what we shared Salma's story. I think John has spoken about his thing in terms of meditation. Now people are going off at 50, 55. Okay. We had one case here in MI, right? Joel, 38. Right? Just last week, 2 of my classmates in Cochin, they lost their daughter. She was just 36 years old. 2 small kids died in her sleep in Cochin. Right? So these kind of things are happening more and more. Right? Whether it's because of COVID, whether it's because of vaccine, all that we don't know. But people are dying much faster, much younger. Right? So I think the important thing is to make it a wake-up call. That if you don't take care of your health in your 20s and 30s, you're screwed. By the time you reach 50 and 60, you'll be out of shape totally. Take it from me. I've seen it with my classmates, I've seen it with my colleagues, right? What they were in college and what they are now. And it's not just a question of what they are now physically, but in terms of their mindset and everything. A lot of things have changed, right? So this Wellness 360, one is her story, one I'll talk a little bit about mine. And I'm not trying to talk about too much about myself, but just to give you an idea about how discipline and consistency helps, right? Here I'm talking about discipline, consistency, and mindset again, right? This is a picture of me when I got married in 1985 on the left, and this is me in 2024, 40 years later. Right? So that's a kind of change. I must have put on 2 kilos.
Wow.
Maximum 2 or 3 kilos, not more than that in 40 years. Right? Did it happen by accident?
No.
No. That's what I think. It's about discipline, consistency, and mindset. Right? So, it's not a very clear picture. That picture is from, like I said, 1985. I've been married 40 years. Do I look like I've been married for 40 years? No. I'm still happy and going strong. So, this was taken in 2024. This is in 2024 we had a school reunion. After 50 years, we all met up. The picture on the left are some of my school classmates. I met all of them after 50 years. I never met them in the previous 50 years. After 50 years, we all met up. We could not recognize each other. Right? That's how much we had changed. Right? The image was what they were in school, and this is what they are now. Right? This picture is not showing it, but you can see everybody's nice, prosperous-looking gentlemen. Right? And this was a picture taken just last week or 2 weeks back, when I had come to the MI office, and then I went and caught up with my college buddies in Hard Rock Cafe in Bangalore. So these are my college friends. Right? What is the message you get from this? These 2 pictures. Imagine when you are meeting your schoolmates after 50 years, or your college mates after 50 years, what you will look like and what they will look like. Try to visualize that. Right? Is this a wake-up call or not a wake-up call? Again, right? Salma woke up at the age of 50. At the age of 50, she suddenly realized that I've lost control. And if I don't take back control, I will lose total control. Right? In my case, I never lost control. So I think that's a fundamental difference. That right from college days, I've been consistent. How did that consistency came from discipline? How did that discipline come is mindset. How did the mindset come? I'll talk about it. So I just saw these 2 pictures which just give you a feeling of how people age. And like I told you, from these 2 groups, almost 65, no, not 66, about 50 people have already gone. They met their Guruji upstairs. Very sad, but the sad part of it is that in our WhatsApp group, almost every month, somebody or the other is passing away. And, they're classmates you studied with. It hurts you. So again, manifestation happens when you combine strong intention with sufficient action.
And some Johnny Walker.
This is keep walking without the Johnny Walker. Keep walking without the Johnny Walker. So I took a very simple thing. In college I used to go to the gym and I did a little bit of karate and all that. But after that I stopped. No more gyms. I've not entered a gym in the last 45 years. I never had a personal trainer. My biggest activity has been walking. Most consistent. Even today on the MIFC group, sometimes say I walk 10 kilometers today, I walk 10 kilometers today. At least 40 to 50 kilometers a week I walk without fail. Without fail. At least 40 to 50 kilometers a week. Some days I do 10 kilometers, some days I don't have time, I do 5 kilometers. Some days I don't have time in the morning, I do it in the evening. If I don't have time, I do a little bit in the morning, a little bit in the evening. But at least 6 days a week, I will make sure I walk. Right? And I think that's what, but important thing again is consistency. Keep walking. Now that I walk for 2 days and then I don't walk for 3 days. Right? Or like what Salma used to do. She used to do 30,000 steps in the morning and then go to the pub in the evening. Right? What's the point? Right? All the good work in the morning is wiped out in the evening. Right? All the alcohol and all the snacks and all the wonderful chicken tikka and everything is beautiful. But somewhere you pay a price for it. Right? That all the good that you did in the morning, you undid in the evening. Next morning again you go back and do 30,000 steps. Right? So you're realizing you're doing good work, but you're also doing damage. And then finally, net result is zero. Net result may actually be negative. You'll actually gain weight. Right? And you also won't feel very good about yourself. So that's something that's, so if you can walk without the Johnny Walker, nothing like it. Right? The other thing I think which made a big difference to me was while I was still doing my engineering, I started meditation. In 1978, I started meditation. Which year is it now? 2020. How many years is that? 47, 48 years. Right. 48 years I've been doing meditation right from college days. I've not missed a single day. Not even one single day. Right. Now Salma is seeing the benefits of meditation. I think John is seeing the benefits of meditation. You want to share some experience of how meditation is beginning to make some difference to you, John or Salma? John, just get the mic.
Maybe a month before, last 10 years or 11 years, after attending Madhya's class, I used to do it very intense when I'm with Madhya, when no phone, nobody. So those days. But something changed in the last maybe 40-45 days. During one of the sessions with Cherian sir, many things we know is good, but do we do it every day? So somehow, I don't know what made me to do it, but when Cherian sir said, the way he explained to me, I picked it up. Very hardly, I think, not a single day I missed also in the last 50 days. And then I used to do for 10-15 minutes, but now it's definitely that maybe 50 minutes to 1 hour. I just lock the room, and then last, I think 4 weeks time I also started praying. I used to read Bible, and then I used to write in the Bible in a paper. Earlier I used to do, but something which I couldn't follow for so many years. I've been a failure in that aspect of my life, but last 45 days definitely I started doing it. So what is the advantage or how it works? A lot of things become easy. We manifest, or what we look for happens much faster, much easier. And definitely I had a sleep issue. It takes a lot of time for me to sleep, and my quality of sleep was very, very bad. Even some 2 weeks before that, before my sleep, I started doing meditation, reflecting on what all happened the whole day, and then expressing gratitude. Then I started with little journaling. So it all started with meditation. When I started doing that properly, and a lot of things started in the Power of Atomic Habits book, it says. So the same thing. So meditation is definitely I started getting the benefits of it, and I'm sure I've been following it for more than 45 days, so I've crossed 221 days. So it has become part of my life. Maybe 3 years from now, how Cherian says 48, 49 years I'm doing it, I would also love to say the same.
Thank you. I think, and this is a very general observation, I think we as Indians, we tend to eat too much. Right? We are brought up that way. We'll have one heavy breakfast, we'll have a heavy lunch, we'll have one heavy tea, and then in between we'll have tea and we'll have snacks. And right? We eat a lot more than the body needs. So if there's one change I would request John to do is to not entertain people with food as much as he does. Right? Because actually it does damage. It does damage, right? It's very tempting, it's very nice to celebrate every time with food, I think the definition of celebration in India is drink and eat. Right? If you're happy, you eat, drink. If you're sad, you drink. If you're happy, you eat. If you're sad, you eat. Right? So either way, you're screwing up your body. Right? If you're happy or you're sad, you're doing things that you shouldn't be doing properly. Salma used to use the word what? Emotional eating.
Comfort eating, emotional eating.
I said, what is emotional eating? Yeah? As you guys watch too much of Instagram, right? In our times, there was no such words like emotional eating. We ate what we wanted to eat, right? So once in a while, we would also, indulge and have a lot and drink and eat and everything. But rest of the time, we were careful, right? So one of the things I was telling Salma also during her coaching is that if you are being consistent, right, you don't have to be consistent 7 days a week. Right? If you can exercise 5 days a week or walk 5 days a week, that's enough. That's consistency. Right? If you're being careful about your diet 5 days of the week, and then on the weekend you're, just enjoying with friends or whatever, family, perfectly fine. When I go out also, I eat nicely, right? But at home, I eat very sensibly. Right? So if 25 days of the month your eating is normal and your exercise routine is normal, 5 days if you sort of freak out, it's okay. Getting it? Because moment you try to do it for 30 days in a month, it becomes impossible. Right? We all have those temptations. We feel like eating, we feel like drinking, we feel like going out, and we should do it. Right? We are not monks, right? We are not sadhus who are giving up everything in life. Right? We are living a normal life. But I think, just to answer Salma's question about what she was doing was to work out in the morning and then go and hang out with friends and go to a pub or go to a restaurant and drink and eat. So whatever calories you burnt out, you put up two times that you put in the evening. Right? Net result is frustration. Weight comes on, goes up, like a ECG graph, right? Yours was like an ECG graph.
Is still work in progress.
Work in progress. So I think Wellness 360 is about getting your mindset, whether it's through meditation or through exercise or through discipline or through consistency. Eat sensibly and start manifesting what is it that you want, right? So I kept telling her, don't obsess about weight. Just be consistent in what you do, have the right practices, weight will automatically reduce. Right? There was one guy I was coaching again, well before Salma happened, about 8-9 years back. He was 110 kilos. And he came to me for coaching and said, I want to lose 15 kilos. And I told him, look, I'm not a fitness coach. I'm a mentor, I'm a coach. I'm not a fitness coach. If you want to lose weight, please go to somebody else. But, when I started coaching him and I understood why does he want to lose weight? He said, no, I want to become 90 kilos. I said, when you become 90 kilos, why did you choose 90? Why not 95? Why not 85? He said, no, once I reach that weight, I will feel good about myself. So for him, why was important. I will feel good about myself. Right? So again, I asked him in terms of why are you not able to do it? And then all the excuses came. I have no time. I'm working in the factory. I'm the plant manager. I'm in office till 8 o'clock. I'm in the factory till 8 o'clock. And because I'm in the factory till 8 o'clock, we order snacks in the evening. Nice snacks, pakora and all that, right? Sounds familiar, right? Because you're working late, we order snacks because people are hungry. So I first asked him, why do you work so late? Why do you have to work till 8 o'clock every day? Why can't you leave our office at 7 o'clock in the evening? He said, no, not possible. So slowly I started questioning him not on the weight, but on what he was doing. Because he was leaving late, he was having those snacks. Then he was going back home and having dinner. No exercise. Right? I forced him through the coaching to say, I want you to leave office by 7 o'clock. And in the next 2 months, I want you to leave office at 6:30. Still complete your work. How can he do that? So he changed his work style so that he could leave office earlier. Because he started leaving office earlier, he was able to sort of, cut out that evening snack. And he would reach home early. He would reach home by 8 o'clock. Earliest to reach home at 9:30. He would reach home at 8 o'clock. He would started playing badminton. And then slowly he got into that badminton habit. And then he would have dinner. And his wife also by then knew that this guy is now focusing on his health. So the food also became much simpler at home. Right? So he changed his work style to get more time. He used that extra time for his badminton and eating better. You won't believe it, in 8 months after the coaching, he lost 12 kilos. But in that entire 8 months of coaching, I never asked him about his weight. I just made him change his routine. Right? So for all of you who say you don't have time, that's bullshit. Total bullshit. That's only an excuse you're giving to yourself. Right? Time has to be created. Right? So I don't know what time you get up, John? 5:30. 5:45 he gets up and does his meditation. I get up at 5:45 also and do my meditation. Salma gets up at 3 o'clock and does her meditation. We all create time. We all create time. Right? We have also the option of getting up at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock and running to office. Right? But we make it important to us that our health is important, so we can't say, oh, I don't have time. We make time. So I think that's the important thing. Create time for yourself. So this is something that we talk about in coaching. If you look at it, there are many aspects: career, money, health, friends and family, relationship, personal growth, leisure, and physical comfort. So all of these are important, right? So you may have physical comfort, you may have plenty of time with friends, you may have good relationship at home, you may have lots of friends, but you may not have enough money, you may not have good health, right? If out of these boxes, if 3 or 4 boxes are not good, then that is not wellness, right? You need all kinds of wellness. You need financial wellness, you need physical and mental wellness, you need career. I'm happy with what I'm doing, I'm happy with my work, I'm enjoying. I get enough time for myself, I'm able to spend time with friends and family, I'm able to socialize. So it's a balanced life, right? It's not only work, it's not only money. I know a lot of people who have got a lot of money, but they don't have health, they have issues on relationships, and they're just sitting there and complaining about this is not there, that is not there. That money is of no use. You can have 10, 20 crores in your bank, you can have 10 crores in your bank, but if you're not happy, if you're not physically in a good shape to enjoy it, what's the point of the money? So I think holistic wellness is about all of these. Right? So I'm not getting into the details of this. So typically in coaching I do this, I'm just giving an idea, right? It covers different aspects of work, performance. Is it true or is it false? Working well for you, not working well for you, right? It talks about time management. I manage my time well. I'm able to prioritize. A lot of you today spoke about prioritizing, right? Because if you're not able to prioritize, you will be busy. You will end up working 8 hours a day. The output will not happen. Your boss will not be happy. Your boss will shout at you. You will go back unhappy. Right? Where did the problem start? Was the problem with the boss or was the problem with you? Right? So all these things account for wellness, right? Money and finances. I think today's session is about financial wellness. I think that's what was part of the thing for the fusion, I think, right? So financial wellness is equally important, right? And end of the day, all of us want to be financially secure, right? We are working for a career so that we make enough money, so that we are able to provide for ourselves, we are able to provide for our family, we are not struggling, we are not living on EMI, we are not living on loans, right? One big difference between our time, our generation and your generation may be that, we never worked with loans. In my entire career, I have not taken a single loan. Not taken a single loan. How many of you take loans? Loans, 50% of you take loans, right? So how many of you are on EMI? Big problem. I'll tell you what happened. I mean, I interview a lot of senior people, right? And particularly when I was in corporate. And I've interviewed a lot of people who are in the age group of between 35 to 40, right? And they have taken car loan on EMI, they've taken housing loan on EMI, they've got every other loan they've taken on EMI, right? And there are times today where there is no job security. Right? Today you have a job, tomorrow, particularly working in a multinational firm, tomorrow they're saying they're closing down this division. Suddenly you're left with a job. I've had people coming crying to me saying that please get me a job. I've got 2 lakhs of EMI per month and I've lost my job. Can you imagine the kind of stress it creates? They've committed 2 lakhs a month EMI assuming that job security is there. And unfortunately in India, like in other countries, job security is becoming more and more tough. Because of AI and all the other things that are happening, people whose jobs were secure last year may not be so secure today. Right? So I know you all are at the early stage of your career, so you may want to do certain things which are beyond your reach right now. So like we bought a car when we had the money to buy a car. We bought a house when we had the money to buy a house. Not when we had only 20% of the money to buy a house. Or 20% of the money to buy a car. So we never overcommitted. Right? I think because of the lack of overcommitment, we are more happy. Right? So I think sometimes now in the rush to get everything fast, and because of this EMI culture, and because of this credit card culture, how many of you got credit cards? Wow. So, see, these are all for you to, I'm just saying these are red flags for me. A credit card, EMI and loan are all red flags, which means you are living on borrowed money. I know I'm talking about financial wellness, right? If you live on borrowed money, it's a high risk strategy. It's a very, very high risk strategy. So think carefully before you get into that, because if your financial situation, wellness is not good, it is going to create a lot of stress. And that stress is not going to help you on your fitness, because you will also compromise on other things, because that is a bigger worry in mind. Yeah, this is about health. I'm happy with my current weight. I do some form of exercise at least 3 times a week. I have a balanced diet. I drink at least 2 liters of water each day. I don't smoke or drink alcohol excessively. I'm up to date with all my medical checkups. I'm happy with the sleep I get. My stress levels are under control. I generally feel well. There's a true or false, right? You want to put a score for yourself on this? What will be your answer on these questions? True or false? Each one of you can look at it for yourself. If the answer is true, very good. If some of the answers are false, then figure out why is it false. Right? It could be on health, it could be on money. I have a budget, I pay my bills on time, I use my credit card wisely, active long-term plan, I reward myself, I have medical insurance, emergency fund, all that. So these are all questions around financial wellness. Right? Why is Sharan smiling? Sharan is shaking his head a lot, so I want to hear what's in your mind. Financial wellness challenge. And I think you're not the only one. Everybody has financial challenges. I think it's a question in terms of how do you plan.
That aspect is taken care very well. That's why he's very
No, what I'm saying is, see, the ones who take care of it early are the ones who actually have less tension later. Right? The ones who don't plan money properly, they spend more than what they earn. They live on credit cards, they live on EMI. That means you're living on some borrowed money, right? It's like taking funding and running your business. More than the funding gets over, the business closes. Why do you think so many startups are closing today? Because they are running on somebody else's money. The moment the investor stops putting money, the company closes. They'll hire 1,000 people, they'll fire 500 people. Because they didn't plan the money well. They assume that somebody else's money will keep on coming. The moment that stops, it. So if you really look at it, Wellness 360 is because it covers all of these. It covers all. You agree with this? So it's not just about going to a gym, it's not just about workout, it's not just about, weight. Wellness is much beyond weight. Much beyond weight. So when I'm doing individual coaching, I make everyone I'm coaching reflect on this, answer each question, find out which are the ones they're given false, and then start working on those falses. If it is false, would you like it to be false even 6 months later? Or would you like to do something about it? That's where the action plan starts coming in, right? What can you do differently? Salma has done this, John has done this, Florence has done this, right? All of you have done it. But this is a starting point of self-reflection. What are things that are working well for me and what are things that are not working well for me? Then there is friends and family, there's personal growth, there is leisure, physical comfort. All of them are important. All of them are important, right? When I started my career 45 years back, what was my monthly salary? After my engineering, I was a graduate engineer trainee in a fairly good company, Crompton Greaves. My monthly salary was 875 rupees. 875 rupees. And I had to pay rent of 500 rupees to stay in that place. But I still survived. I don't know how I survived, but I survived. Right? When I got married 40 years back, my salary was 2,500 a month. And still managed. Right? So I think we started living life based on what we had, not based on what somebody else is doing. Right? We're not comparing with anybody else. Right? So I think important. So I think that's it from my side. As far as what I want to share, I think Salma shared her story and I've shared my story and I've shared some examples. But like we did in the morning, this is not going to be a group exercise. This is only for each one of you. Take 5 minutes. Think about one mindset shift I can make this week and one individual ritual that I can do for myself from a wellness 360 point of view. This is not a group exercise because this is not a group task. Right? What applies to Salma is different from what applies to John, is different from what applies to Kishore. Each one of you will have your own what's in your mind, right?